All right, let's talk about hydration. I'm gonna get my sip real quick. Refreshing. Now, hydrating. Everyone knows we need to do it. A lot of people ask, when they're taking creatine, do I need to hydrate more? Won't be going over that, except right now. Answer is if you're already properly hydrated, you don't need to do any extra. If you're underhydrated, it would help to be more hydrated. So, general guidelines. What is the recommended fluid intake? Now, we're going to talk in freedom units and in non-freedom units, but the recommended amount of fluid per day is going to be based off your body weight. So, for pounds, it's very easy. If you weigh 150 pounds, drink 1/2 to 1 ounce per pound. Very easy. So if you weigh 150, you can drink anywhere from 75 to 150 ounces of water daily to be properly hydrated. We'll get into caveats on when to drink more. There is a conversion here for our non-freedom unit friends. So if you're 68 kg or approximately 150 pounds, you're going to look at 2.2 to 4.5 liters a day. And I don't have a quick math right now for this. I can maybe add one later. But it looks like, about... I don't want to make an estimate. I can add to this later. Pre-workout hydration. So we want to start hydrated. So consume 16 ounces or half a liter of fluid ounces a few hours before your workout. Ideally, you should be hydrating throughout your day, but let's say you forgot, either you're at school, you didn't have anything, you're at work, you just forgot, it happens. Just try to be diligent and drink that water before you exercise, especially if you're sweating. So anything with high intensity, which we're going to calculate our sweat rate. So if you can, here's how you can gauge if you really want to know how much fluid you need and how much you're losing. Weigh yourself before and after your workout. You can deduct the weight and then also, accounting for the volume of water you hydrated during. So in this case, if we shed 1 pound in the hour workout and you drank 8 ounces of fluid, your sweat rate's going to be about 24 ounces. 6 ounces lost, 8 consumed. So in this case, 6 ounces every quarter of an hour. In my opinion, you don't have to go this crazy with it. If you're sweating a lot, try to stay hydrated. There's going to be times where you're playing sports and whatnot. You are not always going to get a water break. That's okay. You can always hydrate after. Now, thirst isn't always reliable. The sensation of thirst is a delayed response. It doesn't mean you are dehydrated in that moment. So if you're becoming thirsty, you're already dehydrated. So make sure you're staying on top of it. I just realized we're cut off a little bit. Make sure you're staying on top of it. Try to drink consistently throughout the day. It's not as good to slam water one period of time. Just like everything else we discuss, small increments over time will always be better than a lot at once. And now, actually, going off this, watched a Renaissance periodization video on hydration recently, and they were talking about Jay Cutler particularly. And drinking copious amounts of water within your workout, or at one period of time, can actually dehydrate you further than just drinking it slowly. The amount of volume of water coming in will actually work to flush out electrolytes rather than replenish them. So small increments over time. Post-workout rehydration. Again, if you just make sure you hydrate, you don't need exactly 24 ounces. These are just generic markers that we've come up with. based off of what the literature says. Now, for larger individuals and for smaller individuals, these numbers are going to vary, especially relative to body weight. So, again, take these with a grain of salt. No pun intended, since that's an electrolyte. But these are just going to be, average markers. Symptoms to watch out for. So, if you are really parched, dark urine color, reduced urine output, you're cramping, you're really fatigued, in the worst case, you're getting headaches and you're dizzy, you are going to want to make sure you're hydrating. Even take a break if you're in the middle of your workouts and you're experiencing these things, because it is better to play it safe than to play it sorry and get injured. So what do we drink? Obviously, water is king. Now, if you have some extra money to splurge with, I would recommend things like Liquid IV, Element, which is a newer one. I've yet to try that, but it looks very promising. Both of those have very good electrolyte compositions that are closer to the composition of sweat. And the reason we have to specify this also goes for caffeinated. So both alcohol and caffeine are diuretics. Diuretics can lead to hydration. So if we want to rehydrate, we do not want to drink things that will dehydrate us. Even if they are composed of water, they are still going to lead to some sort of dehydration. So we want to make sure that we are drinking non-diuretic fluids in this, 64 ounces. And again, this is going to vary based off of our original numbers, right? This is the only part that we're going to go over that is going to be unique for the individual. The rest are going to be generic. Milk and juice both have their place. Milk is actually perfectly electrolyte balanced, which I found out recently, and it can be a great way to rehydrate, and you get some other macronutrients in there versus water not having any. Now, juice, I have things against juice because of the way that fructose is digested and processed through the liver. Juice can be good in certain use cases, like after sports, or really intense exercise, things that deplete your glycogen stores, deplete your stored energy. This will replenish it really quick. And that's, if you've ever had a hard workout and then you eat something sugary, it kind of like revives you in a sense. The reason being, it's digested extremely quickly, and you are going to replenish those glycogen stores. Same thing with juice goes with sports drinks, right? Just talked about this. Carbohydrate electrolyte drinks, Gatorade, Powerade, whatnot. They're a good alternative around exercise, but I wouldn't be slugging electrolyte drinks outside of exercise. And that's why I have sodas, fruit juices, energy drinks. Not only can they cause stomach discomfort, but they are also, processed the same through the liver. These two, at least, being energy drinks, are an exception because there's a lot of 0-calorie stuff now. But avoiding sodas and juices, fructose, high fructose corn syrup, and fructose itself in concentrate form through fruit juice, they're just going to be, super quickly digested carbs. Not a great option. Newer Gatorade does not have fructose. It's actually used with dextrose, which is pretty dope. Very similar to glucose, so it's digested very quickly, and it replenishes minerals, replenishes your glycogen stores extremely quickly. If you hear a snort, I do have a dog next to me, so. Timing your fluid intakes, and then strategies for increased hydration. So, quick rundown. Make sure you're hydrating before your workout, both long term And short term, during your workout, make sure you're hydrating, and make sure you're hydrating after your workout. Now, should you be drinking water throughout the day? Absolutely. But these are going to be timing your fluid intakes around your workout. So if you're really bad with it, the most important times are between 2 hours before and 30 minutes after. Everything in between is what matters the most. The more hydrated you are, the better performance you're going to get. Now we're talking about strategies, just like I do right here. Keep a bottle of water with you throughout the day. There are some that will even have indicators, like 32 ounces or 1 liter of liquid on the side, so you can kind of track how much you're drinking. Keep it with you. Make sure it's within reach. Use a straw. There are studies that show using a straw when consuming liquid, especially if you were predisposed to an oral fixation when you were a kid, like thumb suckers and whatnot. Having a straw will actually increase the likelihood that you will keep drinking from that container. You can follow the 10 gulp rule, 10 large sips whenever you drink water. Again, these are rough estimates. And foods high in water content. So fruits, soups, they can both be really good. Soups actually have a lot of sodium too generally. So again, another electrolyte, especially post-lift. Be nice to increase or replenish those depleted sodium stores. So all good things. Be mindful of the calories though, especially in those sports drinks and whatnot. They can add up quick. They got the Gatorade Zero now. They have, Rain, Celsius if you want some sort of pre-workout, an energy drink. Energy drinks are diuretics, so be aware. But all in all, try to stay hydrated throughout your day. If you're really bad with it, try to keep something with you. You don't need to track your water, but if you're drinking consistently throughout your day and you're not having any of the symptoms mentioned before, thirst, dry mouth, dark urine, muscle cramps, fatigue, etc., then you're in good shape, you're hydrated, and you're going to get after it.